One thing for sure, of course, we'll go for the win. We try to do that in every game. When we beat them in the first game a year ago, a fantastic win for Brentford against a massive club as Arsenal and top players. Another thing we'll be doing it on Sunday, that'll be completely different, because I think Arsenal is, for me now, after City, the second best performing team in the Premier League.
Oh, Leno, and trouble! And it's in! From 1-0 down, Arsenal lead 2-1.
Well, I think they are a really good side. I think what Thomas and the staff they've done there, not only this year, over the years, I think is remarkable. The way they have performed and the results they got against the top clubs as well, especially at home, just sets the tone and what is going to happen on Sunday. And we are very aware of how difficult it's going to be to beat them.
Well, you can tell they're absolutely buzzing heading into this game. And you can't blame them, can you, after what they did last season in their first ever Premier League match, to win the way they did in front of their home fans against Arsenal. There's no reason to believe they couldn't do it again, is there, Karen?
No, not at all. I mean, I was there for that first game and it was just honestly so unreal. The fans, it was just electric, and how the stadium's built, it's built like an amphitheatre. So when the crowd you just heard him, it was just so loud. And I know Arsenal had their circumstances, a few players missing, but wow, they got bullied that day and it was all about Brentford. But fast forward, this is a different Arsenal team now that they will face, but it's still the same stadium, still the same manager and still the same energy from Brentford, that from that first game to now that we've seen in the Premier League. They've been brilliant since they've come up.
What have you made of Brentford's start to this season then, Shay?
Yeah, brilliant. And we look at the Man United result a few weeks ago as well. I love Thomas Frank. I think he's a really top manager. I think he does it different ways. It's not just this is how Brentford play. Sometimes they play from the back, play through the thirds. But then you look at the Man United game this year. You know, they targeted Martinez, the centre half. They put Ivan Toney him, peeled off him, balls off him. You know, I think he's a very clever manager. And even, you know, the goal that we just showed from the game last year, Arsenal, a long throw. You know, you think, why would they do a long throw? They've got a set play specialist. We're talking about set plays all night, but they have a set plays, but that includes throw-ins as well.
Yeah.
And I think you can see, like, they play on opposition weaknesses. And that's part of the manager's job, the part of the analyst's job. They find out where the weaknesses are.
Sorry, Shay, you know, on that from a goalkeeper, we saw one of the main guys after the 4-0. When De Gea made that error, they went the day before and took pictures of where the sun would be, and they knew the sun was going to be in De Gea's eyes, and that they would take the risk, and they went to that detail to find that out. And sorry to jump in with the goalkeeper as well. You mentioned about what they do,
and
just
again,
those little margins.
And again, that's probably one of David De Gea's weaknesses as well. You know, he's not an Ederson, he's not brilliant, he's not an Alisson. He's one of his weaknesses probably at the ball at his feet. So they set traps for David De Gea that day to play out, and obviously they scored from one of them. But it's like I like the way Thomas Frank sees games, sees different oppositions, and sometimes plays different ways. There's more ways to skin a cat, is that the saying I'm trying to define, but there's more ways to win a game of football. And I think he's a brilliant manager.
He's fascinating to listen to after a game as well, because he always gives you real honesty and passion, win or lose, doesn't he? And one of the weapons that he has is Ivan Toney, who has had another great start to the campaign. 5 goals for him already. He scored a hat-trick last time out against Leeds, and he's been rewarded with his first call-up to the England squad. That just shows how good he's been, Karen.
He's been unbelievable, and you know what? Thoroughly deserved. And I've never seen him miss a penalty. Reliable. And then I know Shay always speaks about set pieces, but wow, when you can do that from a penalty spot, from free kicks, the confidence, I mean, this was unbelievable. To take on a player, nutmeg them, go through and then lob them on that. The composure, to have the confidence in him to step up, a little chip there, but it is just a joy to watch, and he leads the line so well.
And for Arsenal, they have Gabriel Jesus on the other side of things, who's been a brilliant signing for Mikel Arteta. 3 goals and 3 assists so far this season. So we're seeing 2 of the informed strikers going head-to-head, Shay. Yeah, who would you rather face?
Well, different strikers again. You know, obviously Jesus, I met him a few times in Man City as well, and he now is the main man at Arsenal. I think at City he didn't get enough game time. Played out in the right a lot of the times. He didn't get that. Mark Arteta's brought him in, and he's like going, you're my main man, you're my number 9 striker, and he's hit the ground running. And he's a brilliant player. Somebody strikes me, he just loves his football. He's a fantastic goal. He was in for goal of the month last month as well. You know, he sorts his feet out here and just bends it into the top corner. That doesn't even look like there's a chance there, Jules, and it's a fantastic goal. But he looks like he's really relishing this number 9 at Arsenal, and as I say, I think he's the main man. He's obviously a Premier League winner. He's brought that experience to the Arsenal, because they've got a young squad as well, and I think players like Zinchenko, They've brought that winning mentality to the club.
He's been so good, Karen, hasn't he? What a signing for them.
Yeah, he has, and I've said it time and time again. It's how they've relighted the spark in him. I think No Edu said that to him. Come to Arsenal, you've lost a little bit of your hunger. We're gonna get it back, and you're right. You will be our main player. We will build it around you, but you need to bring your winning culture, your winning mentality. Fair play to Miaz.
Well, last time out, they faced Manchester United, and it was billed as their first big test this season. And they lost the game 3-1. So would you say they failed?
No. I mean, for a large period of this game, they were really dominant, and they got hit on the counter-attack by, to be fair, a brilliant Man United in those moments. They got back at this point, and they're probably naive in a couple of these situations. This is the counter-attacks that they got done on. But for large periods, 60 minutes, they were outstanding, and just left these spaces in behind and got punished. But I think Arteta would have been obviously bitterly disappointed with the result. But the performance, I think he could take away. There's only small issues that they needed tweaking, but I've been really impressed with them.
Yeah, despite that defeat, Shay, they still remain top of the Premier League. Lots of reasons for Mikel Arteta to be happy. He's the Premier League manager of the month. It was 5 wins in 5 before the Manchester United defeat. So can they genuinely challenge for the title?
Well, that's the question. You just said it as well before. They went to Man United, the first real test of the season. I know it's always a test every week, and they failed it. So then people in general, not Arsenal fans, but a lot of people go, when it goes into the winter months, will it be the same old Arsenal, go to wherever, Forest or whatever club and not win the game? Because they've had such a brilliant start, confidence is high. Now they've took a knock at Man United. Can they bounce back on Sunday against Brentford? As we know from last season, it's going to be a very, very tough game. But I just think Man City would be too strong for any club this year. I really do. They're a point behind now, of course. And I just think... But Arsenal, if they get back in the Champions League, then I think that's a big season for them.
And they've got the North London derby after the international break, Karen. Something to look forward to there for their fans.
Absolutely, that is going to be really, really tasty. I'm actually really looking forward to that. And I think you're right, I don't think they can really challenge for winning the Premier League, but it's an interesting period for them when they do start playing Thursday, Sunday in Europe and how they compete with that. But